Genesis, thank you for attending this session. Much appreciate that the theme today is digital. And lots of questions and a lot of information and content was exchanged in the morning. And I'm going to ask you a lot of questions. So whoever answer will be allowed to stay, and whoever cannot, we'll have to put a penalty there. So that's on the lighter side, but let's take a check on who really believes in digital from this. Be very honest to yourself. Who really believes in digital? Wow. Now for sure, slowly the hands will go down, okay? Who has a Facebook account? Wow. Who's on Twitter? Wow, impressive. Who's on Instagram? Are you guys serious? Excellent. Okay, that's very impressive. So you guys seem to be completely sold out on digital, and I'm really thankful for, because then only I get excited, because if you're part of the topic, and my job becomes much easy. So I'll go very quickly into my slot. I'm going to do, my session will be into two parts. I'll just quickly touch upon what's digital, what's Fujitsu into it, and specifically what Fujitsu is doing in digital in India. A lot of content has been shared, but I'm going to skip through this. About 15-20 years ago, the internet arrived into India, and I was a young IT guy with software engineering, and only my MD had access to the internet, you know. And I'm old enough, many people are young there. Has anybody gone through that feeling, you know, internet is there in the company, but you have no access? Yeah, excellent. So only MD had access to that, and to use the then Hotmails. Sorry? Okay, here you go. Okay, here you go. And now what has happened? You don't need the company, you don't need nothing, it's on your mobile, right? So your kids are having access to the internet, and things have moved pretty rapidly since the last 5 to 10 years. So the way we see it, it's gone from internet, from mobile to the Internet of Things, and it's getting more scary, and a lot of things in the morning sessions. I'll not go deeper into giving an examples of artificial intelligence and robotics. But we are being intruded. All of you all are intruded. Whoever feels that people don't know where you are, sadly mistaken. You are wired, people know where you are, and people also know what you're doing actually. So that's, having said that, oops. So let me just then put the digital concept into 4 boxes, you know. So digital for everyone means something else, and we believe that, you know, digital transformation can be done for 4 reasons, you know. One is on the top, which is for business transformation. On the bottom left, user experience. Bottom right, Apple, well known for product leadership, and in the middle, really getting the whole thing digitized, not only the business but entire operations. So let's look at Uber. You know, how many are using Ola and Uber here? And see that has happened. So traditionally, many years ago, the Kali Pilis were only there, the rickshaws were there, and that was the only way that we had to go and take a taxi. And at odd hours, neither Kali Pili was there and neither the rickshaw was there. Suppose you are taking an international flight in the middle of the night, good luck to you. Maybe you have to walk back home. So they have not only transformed the way the business model works, but again it has become catchy. I'm sure many of you possibly would be thinking now to sell off your own cars. You know, the cost of owning a car is no longer a business case. The cost of parking, maintenance, enhancements, and having the traffic, you bang a car, it's getting complicated. So you might as well jump into an Uber, let him go. And most of us use it for max 2 to 3 hours in a day anyway. So that's the change into the business model, very disruptive, very, very disruptive, and that's what has happened, and all of us have been taken by surprise. By the way, you actually compare Kali Pilis, and it's pretty expensive. Recently I traveled 10 kilometers and paid almost 400 rupees, and that's pretty expensive sometimes. But even funny that you don't think about it anymore. because you're sold out to the idea now. Now let's look into something else, Nike. I saw this video. If you go to Google and search for Nike digital experience, this is really fantastic. It's all the things that I just mentioned to you. It is interacting with the social media. So these two young guys go to a digital store. There's a digital wall there. They are looking for their favorite football player. They bring him on. They zoom in into the shoes this guy is wearing. And it's a Nike shoe, obviously. And then they touch it. And then in the store, they actually get a copy of that shoe, which is kept on a digital platform. And it is customized to your likes in terms of color, in terms of number of spikes you need, in terms of heel and whatnot, what lace color you want, it's customized. And it's ticked off. Your digital wallet is coming online because somebody has spotted you. As I said, you already are spotted in the store. Your digital wallet is coming, you tick on it. The sale is done. And you're walking out of the store where your shoe is ready, exactly what you wanted. Now all this is happening real time using all this fancy stuff that is around you. The middle one, Swiggy, is it there in Delhi? I don't know, I've seen this in Mumbai. Is there, right? This is so low, so Indian. This is something which many of the global products may not work in India. And this is something which happens in all of our house. Hey, I want to buy a McD burger. I want to have a Domino pizza. I want to have a KFC chicken. And in the past, you had to make 3 calls or maybe more. Now, with 1 call and possibly with a huge discount, this is all available back to you in your home. And nowadays, which I see, thanks to GST, people are even now not going to the restaurant because it's 18% GST and more expensive. And this sometimes works out cheaper. And then there are some coupons available, So that's something which is complete digital business operations which is happening here. And the last one is completely Apple. Now I got an Apple Watch here. I do not know. Anybody has an Apple Watch around here? No one. Oh, for once no hands have gone up. I was very much like you about 3 months ago because I believed in Android and I didn't want to buy Apple because it's so expensive. And my daughter has gone to USA and completely she has transformed me. She didn't even ask me. She sent one Apple phone and she sent me an Apple Watch. And the reason she's saying is that I've seen your working pattern and I'm damn scared about you because you are working round the clock and you don't take care of yourself. Now I laughed at her and now the watch has arrived. She has connected this thing to iCloud and she is watching it from US. And she's programming me, every day you have to walk so many steps, so many calories you need to burn. If you're sitting too long, it really tells you, you have to do deep breathing if your pulse has gone high. I never believed in these things, Though I'm talking about digital, I personally never believed it. On a lighter side, I still don't have a Facebook account, by the way. But now this phone is getting into my life and telling me, you have been sitting long enough, now you need to stand. And after some time, it tells me, now you need to do deep breathing because, you're stressed out. And by the way, you have to take your walking so many steps because otherwise your daily goal is not going to be achieved. So this is where we are. Really the product leadership and thought leadership, and who knows, the Apple phone 8 and all what has been launched. And very soon people are buying 1 lakh of this phone. Now I am told with this iPhone and all this stuff, there are 8 devices are put into one. I'll not go into the details, but this is what is happening right here and it's going to take you by surprise. What I will skip this as well is when you do digital, obviously you need to do a business transformation, create value, create new markets, All that you do is primarily to improve your business efficiency with higher revenue and higher margin. Obviously that's the most boring things that you can think of. But why I'm trying to say is that if whatever you do in digital, if none of this is getting achieved, then you did it for technology reasons, it's not worth it, So let me just go on. This again was explained in the morning where we are. In the past, we had a lot of data. Again, if you see the typical ERPs that we use, a lot of reports. I'm sure all of you guys have pulling out so many reports. And I don't know how many are looking at all the reports, maybe 10%. and I'm an SAP guy, if I run a report and find out how many reports are actually used, 80% is scrap, nobody bothers about it. But what the point is now the data is coming in from so many places. It's mobiles, it's LinkedIn, Facebook, social media, it's the PLC, sensors. I'll take another example. The windmills which are there in India now, they are running all right, nothing wrong with that. The government has given subsidy to generate power, so that's fine. The data actually, how many times the windmill is working, it's lying there in the machine, but nobody is bothered to pull it out and analyze it. Very soon the government is going to make analysis and put a law that if you don't produce that much electricity, your windmill is going to be shut. So which means that even those devices now have to get connected with the ERPs and be more serious about the business model. So from the data to driving to the business processes, getting it on the local area network to pushing them onto the cloud. And in the morning, I think Chandan mentioned, even now your own data centers are becoming redundant and people will go to Amazons and Azures of the world. Voice, data, video, image. In the past, it was so difficult to put them all together and analyze. Now everything is coming in big stuff. I think the bandwidth, and which used to cost a hell of money last few years ago, it's no longer that problem. Even on the disks, nowadays you get 1 terabytes on your laptops and even more. And that's a real cheap price, But what is important, now you have the data, now you need to analyze it. And if you don't make use of it to make management decisions, then you're not achieving the digital purpose for it. So the whole thing for the digital journey is collect your data, convert it to information, drive business changes, change your business processes to give you the results. This is our view. I'm going to skip this and directly, because there's a time constraint. So what I want to do is I want to invite Vishal, and he'll take you to some examples which we have done in India right here. A lot of in the morning you have seen examples of Fujitsu worldwide, what we have done. But we've begun our digital journey right here in India, and there's a talent available right here, and very interesting examples are there. So Vishal, can you just take over from here?
Am I audible? Okay. So thank Ninad. I guess he set the tone right, and a lot of you would have attended the keynote session in the morning from Andy and Amit Saha, and they spoke about connected services, they spoke about artificial intelligence, they spoke about IoT, they spoke about mobility solutions. And what I'm going to talk about is essentially 3 or 4 solutions which we've actually developed either for our clients or as part of Center of Excellence within Fujitsu, which we are part of, to ensure that we do that digital transformation for the clients. We don't do just presentations and tell them this is what we can do. We have actually done this, show it to them and say that this is what we have done. So Amit Saha in the morning keynote spoke about how Fujitsu is working with them for the digital co-creation solutioning, how we are helping them connect with the grower community and ensure that they continue to bring food to the market, and how digital solutions can help them. So this is one solution, and I'm very proud and honored to say this just went live 2 days back. This is a mobile solution which is called digital marketing, which means we built a solution along with Syngenta. They knew the agricultural industry, we knew the technology. We sat with them, co-created the solution, and ensured that this reaches out to the grower community, wherein they are able to educate the growers on how to improve the yield of the crop, how to ensure that the threats which happen during the life cycle of the crop do not happen, how to communicate with them in the language which they speak. So if you saw Amit Saha's, the vocabulary, multi-language was one of the Asia-Pacific challenges. How do we talk to them in their own language? So in Maharashtra, we talk in Marathi. In Telugu, in Andhra Pradesh, we talk in Telugu. So what we did was we built a solution. And next slide basically shows you some of the screenshots. The app is available online on Play Store. You can go type the word Anantam. Anantam is the name of the app, which means infinity in Sanskrit. And this is how the app looks like. So probably a lot of people will not be able to see it, but I'll come closer. So if you see, what you do is basically select which crop you want to grow in. So based on state, so if you saw the previous slide, it says it is available for 7 crops. It is available in 7 different languages, which includes English and Hindi, and then a lot of regional languages, Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, and so on. And it covers pan-India. Probably this is the first solution which I have seen, which caters to entire India community of growers in their own native language. And this is already live, available on Play Store. Growers download it. Growers select which crop they want to sow in, and they are able to see how to sow that crop. So it goes through different cycles. So this is tomato. And tomato starts with a seedling. This is how it looks like in the first stage. And it goes all the way to the maturity stage. So I showed it to my daughter to explain how the tomato is actually sown to how it grows. And she had never seen tomato start like this. She always believed that tomato is always green and then it turns red. But this is how it starts. So this is what growers are looking for. They don't know this. And imagine talking to them in their own language and being able to educate them. And there are a lot of things which happen on this. So we give them weather forecast. There is a weather forecast. We tell them which products to buy to cure which threats, and where is that particular retailer available within their community. So we use the latitude, longitude mapping of the grower to give him the retailer recommendations. We also have enabled direct interaction with Syngenta agronomic leads, where they can click a picture of the crop, tell Syngenta, I don't understand what this disease is, this looks something new to me, can you help? They click a picture, it goes to the agronomic lead calls him or responds back. All happens using mobile. It's available free to download on Play Store. The name of the app is Anantam. Anantham. Yeah. No. And good question. Why would I build an app for Apple when I know nobody in grower community will buy an Apple phone? There is no point in making that business investment. But to your point, we are looking at moving this to Asia Pacific now. I know, but you would potentially not use it the way growers want to use it. So look at it from Syngenta's point of view. They would not want to invest. Yeah. But it's available in English. You can download it, look at it. And beauty is this entire app works offline. I'm not connected on internet. And another reason, growers work in remote locations. We don't want them to tie to the network and pay a lot of amount to consume data and pay Reliance or Vodafone or Airtel. What we wanted to do was build a solution which works offline. And this is completely offline, which means entire content, even though they are in a remote village where there is no network, they can still browse through it and look for it. They get their entire history, protocol, what they have done in 2 seasons back, and how the yield was. It is connected to a digital marketing analytics platform at the back end, which we have built for Syngenta, and the marketing community looks at those analytics, looks at those dashboards, looks at the KPIs, and ensure that the farmers get that regular touch. That's what Amit Shah spoke about, that it has to be a connected service. It has to be regular interaction with the growers.
So does that also have that soil quality stuff?
Not yet. So what we did was, as he spoke about, there was a pilots release and there was a scale-up release, and digital is always in smaller cycles. So we did a pilot release last year in December, which was two states, 2 languages. Day before yesterday, we added more functionalities. We went live with something. In next release, we are looking for even the rates, mandi rates of seeds and things like that, and some of those things, soil and all that stuff. So it's a step by step, because otherwise the project will take 2 years, and with 2 years, digital journey will change. We don't want to do that. No, that's what. Farmer is not being asked to pay any money to use this app. It is education free of cost. As Amit Shah rightly mentioned, they are growing food for us. If they don't grow, we don't get food, right? Free, right? And in the interest of time, I will take questions. I'm here available throughout the evening. We can ask a lot of questions. I know this is more exciting because this is closer to what you guys do in your day-to-day life. And I'm available here after the session. But in the interest of the time, I'll quickly run through a lot of other solutions and we'll talk about it. Yeah. I don't know how many of you have seen this, but this is more on indoor navigation. So one of the challenges which a lot of people had, and we were talking to a lot of clients, so Ninad meets a lot of clients every day, and they were saying, we have a challenge. We have a huge manufacturing plant, and we have people to move, and every time a new employee joins us, he doesn't know how to reach which location. And Google Map cannot help. Google Map can bring me to Hotel Pullman, but it cannot bring me inside the conference. So what do? We said, you can use beacons. And he said, what are beacons? We don't know what are you talking about. And we typically did presentations to them. Still, they could not understand it. So we said at FUJITSU, why don't we build a use case, live prototype? So what you see here is live screenshots of the mobile app which we built. The first one is our Pune campus, wherein we built this on the 4th floor. This is the floor map of an existing floor which we have. These are the beacons. So a lot of people would not have seen beacons. These are the beacons. They're powered by battery. It has 2 lithium-ion batteries, runs for 2 to 3 years. You just plug it on something, create a mobile app, and it works on a proximity sensor, so radio transmitter. It tells you when you are near to it, which means you can do navigation, you can do heat map. You have a fire drill in this campus and you want to ensure every single employee or has been vacated. How do you do that? You can do attendance tracking. You would have gone to a rugby stadium or a football stadium and you would have struggled to locate your seat, or a cricket match, IPL. You would not know where your seat is. Imagine having such a solution wherein you open a mobile app and you are able to see this. That's what we did. So this is a live case study which we have done. I have the app as well on my phone, and after the session I can show the actual app as well, which is there on the phone. This is the app, what it looks like. And we basically designed this for Fujitsu World Tour. We changed the logo and all. But I'll show you the actual map if someone is interested. But this is a live solution which we have built. Now this is on predictive maintenance. We were talking about artificial intelligence, machine learning, IoT. So this is a combination of Internet of Things and machine learning. So what we are doing within Fujitsu is basically building a solution which can help predict the life of a particular machine or a plant or an object which resides in your machine. Instead of you having an AMC contract where someone keeps checking it without knowing whether it is really to be checked or not, and you keep paying that AMC cost, why don't we make it predictive? SAP, Oracle, you already have enterprise asset management systems, but again, you have to define the rules and all those stuff, and they are not connected. They are simply systems where you will have created assets, and they would work on that, but they're not connected. So what we are doing is we actually created this, and this is more of a prototype which we have built, and I will also show you a live screen after this. So what we have done is we have simulated sensors, and those sensors, we use machine learning, open source library. We use linear algorithm and decision tree making kind of algorithms to pump in the data and really make it more predictive. So this is the solution. Second screen shows you one of the sensors basically. If you see, this is the sensor. You see the live elements are peak pressure, cycle time, average pressure, and a lot of these predictions are done. And all this matures. So machine learning, the primary objective is it matures over a period of time. The more data you give in, the better the prediction is. Right? So if you could switch over. So this is the live dashboard. If you see, this is hosted on our cloud. We are planning to move it to K5. You would have heard K5 as a term Andy used in the morning. So this is the live. So if you go to machines, please click on machines. So it shows you all the machines which are there. See, Sheet Cutter 2 already has an alert. Sheet Roller 2 is operating pretty well. It has one sensor active. It has everything okay. This is what it does. If you go to devices, so you see all the devices. So there is one gateway. Obviously, sensors have to connect to a gateway to send the data to the cloud, and you have so many sensors. All these are simulated. These are not live sensors, but you could put these live sensors onto a machine and imagine having an operation. So he spoke about how 1 hour of downtime in an industry can cause you millions of dollars of loss. This is what is the real solution which we are building, connecting to what Andy mentioned in the morning. Okay. So if you could flip back, please. This is my last slide. So he spoke about artificial intelligence having a lot of use cases in the market. What came to our mind was a use case which we can connect to, and that was chatbot. Now, Fujitsu has a lot of employees who join us every month. Every time an employee joins, he feels alien because he's coming from somewhere else, he's coming to a new family, he needs someone to help him with a lot of questions. Typically what happens is employee raises a ticket in a ticketing tool. If it is 3 a.m. in the morning, probably nobody in IT would be there to support him. Probably that ticket will go on wait for 4 hours. Someone comes in shift, responds to that question, which means an employee has an endless time of probably 3 to 4 hours to get a response. Let's say I am responding, tomorrow Ninad is responding to the same employee. The way Ninad responds versus the way I respond will be completely different. An employee will say, what the heck? Every time I get a different response, and then there are gossips in the canteen and criticizing Fujitsu and so on. So we wanted to eliminate that because employee was at the center of focus for us. What we did was we built a chatbot which is deployed live, and I'll show you a live demo as well, wherein we plugged in all the questions which typically employees ask. We looked at the ticketing history over last 1 year. We pulled in those questions, plugged in those answers, and we used the Microsoft Cognitive Platform to build the backend system of it. This is deployed on an intranet portal. So 24/7, which means no matter you work in 3 a.m., 12 midnight, or 5 p.m., you get the response immediately, within seconds. Exact same response no matter when you ask that question. So even if you ask that question 10 different times, you will get the exact same response. Imagine having this. And what we also did was integrated our FAQ, which was published on our Fujitsu website, into this portal. So not only having manual text type questions, but you could also integrate FAQs. Imagine having such a solution on your customer's website, wherein for a FAQ, people do Control F, right? Because it's a long list of questions. We don't know how to find that. They do a Control F. And if that keyword is in 5 different questions, they struggle. Probably they take minimum 3 to 4 minutes to find a response to a question. Why not have something like this, which gives you an immediate response, right? And on top of it, what we have done is we have built a mobile app for this chatbot. Right? So if you could flip to over, this is the live. So because it is hosted on an intranet which is behind the firewall, I've created a local copy. That's why the URL says local. That doesn't mean this is pilot. This is actually live on our Fujitsu intranet. So if you were to ask a question, and I had a few questions, and we'll probably type few more. If you could type one question, please. Right? And this works on keywords, so you don't have to be very specific that you have to type the entire sentence. And so you see the speed at which it gives the response. Now you may say it is local, that's why no, this is the response you will get even on the live system. So he asked a question, what is floating leave? And floating leave is something very specific to Fujitsu as an HR policy. An employee immediately gets to know what is a floating leave, instead of he getting 5 different responses from 5 different people. What we are also doing is integrating speech to text and text to speech solution, which means if you are driving and you need to ask a question, you just speak out. It converts your speech to text and gets you the response and converts that text back to speech. And I can again demo that after this session if someone is really interested on what we are doing and all. But very simple, Apple has a Siri. You consume the Siri API into your chatbot and you have without any license cost. So to Ninad's point, this is what we are really doing to improve the life of people, whether it is agriculture, farmers, or our own employees, because that's what Fujitsu care for, human-centric society, right? So most of the solutions, if you see, are very focused on human centricity. And these are some of the solutions which we wanted to show to you today, so that you get a feel of what we are doing in Indian market. That was the last slide from me, nothing else. Thank you very much. And as I see, there are a lot of questions from people. More than happy, I'm available here to answer anything you may want to ask. Ninad, if you want to add something before we wind up.
No, I guess the time constraint, and we are being timed out for this one. So maybe we are around, and after the sessions are over, happy to talk to you.
Sure. Thank you very much. Thank you.